Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for IDW Sonic the Hedgehog issue 23. When we last left our heroes, things did not go so great for the Resistance, as a single refugee was infected with the Zombot virus, and he wanted a place to... He didn't want to be alone, is what he said. But that led to him infecting others, which then led to Charmy breaking free, because Vector had brought Charmy home, this whole other thing. So Restoration HQ has fallen. Vector sacrificed his life-ish. And we know he's going to be fine eventually. For now, he sacrificed his life to stop Charmy from infecting the rest of the survivors. And now the gang has met up with Tails and left Central City. Central City? Was that where they were? Where Tails was, I think. But before that, we're going to have to check in on Sonic for part 3 of the last minute. So our cover here is the infected Sonic running as both Eggman and Starline kind of loom at him in the background. There are a bunch of Zombots there, and then the face ship is also in the background. So we have our story so far. Dr. Eggman has unleashed a metal virus capable of infecting living organic matter and turning it into zombie-like robots, Zombots, that can infect others and that respond only to his command. As the metal virus spreads, cities and heroes, including Sonic himself, have been infected. Now, Tails finds himself in Central City researching a cure, Amy organizes rescue missions from Restoration HQ, and Sonic races to create speed data for Tails' research, as it all comes down to the last minute. And it's the same kind of thing we've seen for the past 2 issues. Again, this is set at the same time 21 and 22 started, so Cheese's, Cream's update has not, Cream's drawing has not been updated for the last 2 issues. Our roll call is Sonic, Eggman, and Starline. Only those 3, which kind of shows the kind of, I don't want to say bottle episode we're going to be dealing with, but bottle episode-esque. So we open on Sonic. Yo, Tails, you there? I'm here, where are you? I'm not far outside of Barricade Town. Everything going well on your end? Yes and very much no. The data from that bioscanner I gave you is coming in perfectly. On the other hand, Eggman hit Central City with the metal virus before we got into town. Yikes. Hang tight, I'll make a U-turn and be there soon. No, you keep running. We need your speed data. It may be the only key to finding a cure. Plus, it'll be a backup in case something happens on my end. Gotcha. Still, stay safe. Thanks, I should be fine. We've definitely seen this conversation in 21. I don't remember if we saw it in 22, but this is the first time we're seeing it on Sonic's end. I've gotta let you go, Sonic. Sure thing. You gotta be brilliant. You go be brilliant. I'll try. And Tails hangs up, and now I'm on my own again. Usually doesn't feel this lonely. There's Barricade Town. He sees Barricade Town where he's running. Seems like yesterday Knuckles and I were busting Rough and Tumble's extortion rackets. Oh, that's where we first met Rough and Tumble, back in issue 3. Now those mooks are Zombots at the bottom of a mine. Hopefully the town is... And he sees that it's like, there's no life anywhere. The barricade is quite literally fallen. Nope. Looks like it fell to the metal virus too. Should I check for survivors? And do what, smart guy? You can't carry them to safety. And if a Zombot gets a lucky hit on Tails' gizmo, we lose out on the data. So, which is right? Risking it all to maybe save one person, or keep on running so I can save everyone? I do like that the series is not giving Sonic an easy answer here, you know? And a lot of series, this isn't exactly a shonen manga, because it's a comic book, but Sonic can be a very shonen-esque protagonist. And a lot of shonen protagonists would make the, risk it all for one person choice. And Sonic is like, but also, that might doom everyone. And he's not, like, I feel like Shadow would have just given up on them for the speed data. But Sonic is kind of, he has to, like, weigh those 2 options. Wait a minute, is that... And he sees Eggman in Barricade Town. Eggman. And yeah, Eggman and Starline are flying through, doing some scanning work. Now trying frequency 141.12. Ugh. Zombots, this is your master speaking. Everyone, I don't know, look east. And you'll recall the Zombots kind of stopped listening to Eggman's commands at a certain point. So that's clearly what they're working on here, and that's also the reason why Starline is, like, mid-betraying Eggman as we speak. Now trying frequency 141.13. This is so tedious. I should have rigged an automated version to play from the spaceship. Wideband broadcasts have had no effect. We agreed a tight band localized attempt was the best next step. Don't get passive-aggressive with me. If you're going to ride my coattails, then you better have my back. All I'm saying, sir, is that in hindsight, it would have been smart to have a failsafe for the metal virus mutating beyond your control. Is it really my fault when my creations exceed my expectations? Maybe we're going about this the wrong way. What about your special gemstone? The warp topaz? Indeed, you're able to warp space-time to create portals with just a small electrical charge. Imagine what I could do if I hooked it up to the Chaos Emeralds aboard the spaceship. Absolutely not! When I found it, the warp topaz responded strongly to even the most passive of energy waves. In my early experiments, anything above a light-controlled charge resulted in extreme reality alteration. I'm glad we're actually addressing the warp topaz, because as far as I know, it has no basis in the game lore. It's just this new kind of gem that that Starline kind of showed up with. It can be a useful tool when used properly, but what you're proposing is exceedingly dangerous. It'll be fine, we just have to be cautious. Cautious? You are anything but cautious. You've yet to inoculate us to the metal virus. Shows what you know. There is no vaccine. And Starline is just shook by that. But how are you going to protect us from infection? By not touching the zombots. Duh. What if there was a spill on the spaceship? Or a mishap in the field, or it mutates and becomes airborne? You've exceeded my threshold for nitpicking, Doctor. It's not nitpicking, it's common sense! You shut your bill, or I'll staple it shut. So we're seeing a continuation of Starline's concerns ever since Sunset City, about Eggman's lack of, planning ahead. And right as they're saying that, Sonic shows up. Aw, is the honeymoon over already? Speaking of getting infected by the Zombot virus, Sonic can do that. Oh ho ho, if it isn't Patient Zero. Have you enjoyed watching my unbeatable plan unfold? Starline, by the way, recognizes the risk, because, again, Sonic can infect him with a single touch. For once, I'm going to skip the banter. You're going to tell me right here, right now, why did you do it? Haha, what? I've been trying to take over the world for years. You know that. You've been underfoot the entire time. I mean, going back to the mad scientist shtick. Sure, Dr. Fashion Disaster over there gave you back your memories. Love the insult, by the way. And Starline with a huff readjusts his collar, pinky out, by the way. But you chose to go back to your old ways. What was wrong with being like Mr. Tinker? That's not who I am. Not be him, be like him. Oh, what? You want me to be a charitable goody two-shoes, fixing doorknobs and building toys, living on grateful smiles, listening to children's laughter, day in, day out, making things people need and use. Eggman almost seems to repent, and his mustache droops as he says it. Starline is looking a little bit nervous there. That life was relaxing, but I'm doing something better. I'm bringing peace and unity to the world, and providing it with my brilliant guidance. No, you're not! Agree to disagree. You know we're not that different, you and I. We both have our own styles that we won't change. Yeah, but yours is evil and mine's not. Is that just straight up the lyrics of What I'm Made Of? It definitely is. Eggman's line, though, makes sense that he would say that. But yours is evil and mine's not doesn't quite sound like it makes sense outside of the song, if you feel me. But that's a nitpicky. Again, agree to disagree. Ugh. I'm running out of time, and we see the infection is starting to spread again. And I'm totally out of patience. You're going to reverse the metal virus, or else what? You can't stop me. No one can. The metal virus's infection is spread exponentially. I couldn't stop it now, even if I wanted to. All that's left is to find a way to command the Zombots, and then I will finally rule the world. Fine. Tails will handle it, and I'll handle you. And Sonic lunges at Eggman, which does kind of provide a way out for the story, because Eggman doesn't see a flaw here, but Starline, who every time we see him is some form of shocked, definitely does see how this plan can go very wrong. Ha ha ha. One last battle before you're my Zombot slave. One last butt-kicking before we lock you away forever. Here it is, the scene I've dreamed of seeing firsthand. And all I feel is apathy. This is Starline's mind. He's finally seeing Sonic vs. Eggman like he's always dreamed of. Neo-Metal Sonic nearly succeeded in reviving the Eggman Empire, but he acted too brashly. He thought overwhelming power would win the day without a proper plan. I thought it was because he'd been designed as a counter to Sonic, a ballistic missile with a built-in grudge. But the first biodata he downloaded was Eggman's, and here we are seeing the exact same brute force strategy. I got lost in the pageantry, in his showmanship. I was inspired by Eggman's legend. The man simply doesn't measure up. You can't run forever, rodent. You'll tire eventually, and then my virus will take hold. If you're so proud of it, why don't you try it? And Sonic finally grabs onto Eggman's little bobby thing. I don't know what it's called. Gak! Don't touch me! Whoa! Yeah! And the shit flips, and Sonic and Eggman fall to the ground below. They both hit the ground, surrounded by Zombots. Sure would be nice if you had a cure handy, huh? Stay back! I command you! Interesting that Sonic does not infect Eggman right then and there. Though maybe infecting Eggman is not exactly Sonic's best move, because he can't talk to Eggman if he's a Zombot. I don't know. That worked? And they all ignore Eggman to go after Sonic. That's what that worked as in reaction to. No, I found an effective command signal. That's Starline, who's climbing into Eggman's ship as a bit of symbolic stage directions. It's not a play, but you know what I mean. Maybe I won't have to use my own plans after all. But then, what will you learn from this? Excellent work! Now upload that frequency to the face chip so I can command the Zombots of the world! No! And we see Sonic, the infection is spreading, he's surrounded by Zombot claws. And Sonic spin dashes out of the slew of Zombots, wrecks Eggman's ship, as Starline jumps back into his own ship. No Zombot army for you! And Eggman jumps onto Starline's little thingamabob. Pick me up, pick me up, pick me up! Higher, faster! There's too much weight! And the ship crashes, with Starline and Eggman both in it. Sonic, you idiot! Now nobody can control the Zombots! They'll destroy my factories along with everything else! Gee, darn, better work on a cure, huh? Never. I'll pave over the hordes if I have to. And Starline is as dubious as that plan sounds, I suggest we try something else first. Let's retreat for now. And we see the Zombots are climbing up the walls. This is a Pyrrhic victory, Sonic. I've already won the war. You're just too stubborn to admit you've lost. And Starline is use the warp topaz to bring them back to the face ship, many miles away. Oh my aching head. I hate that Hedgehog. I'm sorry to say the upload failed, sir. I'm afraid that in all the commotion, I didn't memorize the working frequency. I do recall the range, though, so we can start from... Meh, why bother? Excuse me? It's too risky to use it at so close a range, and besides, the metal virus is most likely already adapted to resist it. I'm not going to go through that tedium again just for it not to work. Then what do we do next? First, I enjoy infecting wherever we are. Orbot, Spiral Hill Village, sir. The metal virus has already been deployed. Excellent. After that, I don't know. I'll think of something. Spiral Hill Village, of course, ties into the end of the last issue where Jewel's her name, right? It's the Tangle's little ladybug friend. Had called Tangle about an attack going on. Oh man, I did exactly what Tails warned me not to do. And we see that Sonic is almost completely infected. The data reader is destroyed, which means with Tails' Central City base, Restoration HQ, and the data reader, there is nothing left. I didn't protect the data reader. I haven't been able to protect my friends. I put my faith in the idea everyone has a little good in them, and Eggman made me pay for it every day. And he looks around at the Zombots. There's a look in his eyes like he's about to give up. but he dashes at one and like spin dash leaps over the wall and like escapes to run another day. But I can't give up. I've got to protect my friends who are still safe. I've got to find a way to save the ones who got infected. I've screwed up a lot, but I still have time to make things right. I feel like I'm going to collapse, though. Is this what everyone feels like after a run? And he gets a call right then. Sonic, it's Amy. Are you there? I'm here, on the run. What's up? Listen, Sonic, it's bad. Restoration base has fallen. Zombots destroyed Tails' lab. We're on our way to Tangle's hometown to evacuate it. Can you help? Yeah, of course. I'm on my way. Heh. Man, oh man. I guess the good news is things officially can't get any worse. Never say that, Sonic. But he zooms off into the distance. Meanwhile, on the hidden worlds of Lost Hex, things are about to get worse. And the boss of the Deadly Six, whose name I'm forgetting right now, we have been tested, Master Zik. Eggman used us as his enforcers. Sonic humiliated us in battle. This will not go unanswered. And Zik is this old, kind of like round-looking dude. But vengeance must be exact. It was wise of you to have us bide our time, letting our hatred and anger fester. But now our patience is paid off, and we see the warp topaz is activated again, and Starline steps through. Dr. Starline, Zavok, you've returned sooner than I anticipated. Yes, well, today's events have cemented the fact your abilities are needed. You can exert your will over machines, correct? I thought you might need a demonstration, and Zavok uses his machine powers and to control the bandnik that Zik was sitting on. Whether it's one robot or 100, the Deadly Six and I can command them all. We are very eager to see Eggman again. When can we begin to serve him? Very soon. I just need to do some last-minute preparations on my end. We shall wait with bated breath, and Starline leaves through a warp topaz portal. I'll be in touch. The naive fool. He has no idea we will take Eggman's unruly army and turn it against him. Just so, Master Zik. We will journey to the lands below. We will take command of these Zombots. We will use them to destroy Eggman, destroy Sonic, and destroy the world they have warred over for so long. Our vengeance will be merciless. Our victory absolute. We'll see how much that works out, though, because I don't know enough about how their machine-controlling powers work, but if it's by radio frequencies, we'll see. Back with Starline. The file said Eggman used the cacophonous conch to enslave the Zeti, and that they were eager to turn on him. Zavok is planning to betray me the minute he steps aboard. I'm glad Starline recognizes that. But I've done my research, and being an avid collector of Eggman's paraphernalia means I'm already prepared. Take note, Eggman. This is how you do it. And he has the conch. Next time, the battle for Spiral Hill Village. Alright, so, strangely, for what's supposedly a Sonic-focused issue, Sonic is like the character I'm the least interested in this time. The most interesting story going on is the three different villains we see. With Starline, Eggman, and a little bit of Zavok. But primarily the differences between Eggman and Starline, as Starline just cannot handle how little Eggman prepares. Eggman's like basic idea that things will just kind of work out in the end, which is a weird thing because it never does, and Starline is aware of that, which is what makes Starline such a threatening villain. But Starline is prepared, like both, Eggman is just kind of assumes he's on top and is kind of blind to everyone beneath him. Zavok is like thinks he's on top of everything, but it's Starline who's really controlling. Definitely is about to be controlling Zavok as soon as he shows up, and is really scheming to take over Eggman's spot too. And I'm not entirely sure how big a fan I am of the interpretation of Eggman as just like unable to plan ahead. I don't think that really. And maybe it does kind of adequately describe Eggman. It feels right, given the interpretation. It's taken a bit to an extreme. I don't think Eggman in the games would necessarily boast about there not being a vaccine to the metal virus and having no real plan. But it's close enough that I'm willing to forgive a different interpretation of the character, You know, this is a different universe in the games, kind of. And then, yeah, Sonic is not doing too hot. Luckily, Sonic is not a Zombot, so there is still some kind of hope that Tails can make a new data reader that can continue doing the same thing that Sonic was doing all through the last minute. But we'll have to see about that once the battle for Spiral Hill Village begins. So I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or, you know, do whatever makes you happy, you know? And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!